First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahushai Ba'Hashem Rakakodash. Yahweh is to this world ignorantly calls God. Yahushai is to this world ignorantly calls Jesus. Ba'Hashem means in the name, Rakah means spirit, and Kodash means holy. And that's all in the Paleo Hebrew. I also want to give double honors to the elder bishops and apostles of Great Millstone that taught me this truth. In today's video, I wanted to go into how the Lord fixes your problems, not the world. Okay, the Lord fixes your problems, not the world. And this is something I realize of another person's experience and something I was talking about with my dad. My dad also understands the scriptures. He understands everything I've taught him. Lord willing, he's part of the elect. But we were talking and I realized this, how, you can't rely on this world. Okay, you can't rely on the material things and put your trust in the material things to solve your problems, because it is the Lord that is in control. Now, for example, right here it is, you might be short on money and you might be thinking, oh, I'm going to get this money this day and this money is going to help me to fix these problems. That's completely, the wrong mindset. Your mindset should be, let me focus on the Lord and let me focus only on Him, and that's what's going to fix my problems, right? Because what could happen? You might not ever get that money. And now what? You might not ever get that material solution. And now what? You might not ever get that job. And now what? So it is Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai that solves your problems, not the material things. And it is focusing on Him that is going to help you out, not focusing on the world. Okay, you got to always keep that in mind. It is focusing on the Lord that is important. So let's read this in Joshua chapter 1 and verse 8. It says, "This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success." Right? So it tells us clearly that in order to be successful, right, for things to go your way, you have to focus on the Lord. You have to focus on this book, okay, reading, okay, praying, fasting, okay, spiritual activities, okay. That is the blueprint. And if you don't follow that, you will lose. You will ultimately come up short every single time, because you're trying to ultimately supersede the Most High. Right? That's something I'm realizing, is that there is a truth. Okay, there is a law, a path for everything. Okay, the Most High has everything with a specific way on how to do it. And every single time you try to be the exception, okay, that is your pride trying to be above the Most High. You're literally trying to cheat the Most High and do things your own way. Okay, do things by your own will. And that is the opposite of being humble. Okay, being humble is accepting what it is and doing what you got to do. Accepting is being humble. You accept whatever is on your plate, whatever you have to do. So, when you have the mentality of, I'm going to do things my way and I'm going to do this and do that, you are completely forgetting the Most High. You're abandoning the Most High. And when you do that, the Most High shows you that it's not like that. He humbles you. He makes everything that you try to do fail, to come back to the realization that it is Him. Okay, He is the answer. So it says, "This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate day in and night." Right? So you got to be focused on the word 24/7. And when you do that, what happens? You apply wisdom, right? You apply wisdom when your mind is focused on the scriptures. Because if you're focused on the world, you're only going to do worldly things. You're not going to apply what the scriptures tell you to apply, because you're not even focused on that. Okay? So the only way to apply wisdom is to be focused on the Lord. Okay, to fear the Lord. And then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success. So keep that in mind always. Put the Lord first, and then everything else will come okay. And, it makes me think about Sirach or Ecclesiasticus, the second chapter, and verse 10. It says, "Look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded, or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him?" And the answer is no one. Okay? Every single person that has had full faith in Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, the Lord is always taking care of them. Always. And, it's important that we get into this mindset more and more as these prophecies start to unfold, because the elect are about to get hit with some very difficult tests, put in some very hard spots, okay, in order for the Lord to try us. Okay, we are going to be in positions where the only answer is going to be faith. We're going to look at it carnally, and you're going to say, I don't know how to get out of this situation, but I know Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai got me. And that's what it's going to take. Okay, that's what the Most High requires, and when he's going to start performing those miracles. Because what are you going to do, full-fledged Jacob's trouble, and you're surrounded by troops? You got AR-15s to your face. What are you going to do in that situation? You can't fight. You can't run. Well, Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai got me. And you're not going to be able to fake it in that day. Okay? You got a lot of you Israelites, a lot of you people say that you believe in the Most High, but you're really faking it. Okay? You're not really applying, what you read. So you won't be able to fake it in that day. It's going to be, let's see if you really believe in the Lord and you really believe he's in control. So, in order to have that mindset in that day, we need to start applying that mindset today. Okay, it's something that has to be built upon. It's not just going to pop up out of nowhere. So apply that mindset today. Remember, the Lord is in control. Okay, you might not have a job right now. You might not have money right now. You might not have any solution to fix your problems. But guess what? You have faith in Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, and that's enough. Okay, the Lord is going to come through, and he always comes through. And he comes through in ways that you can't even imagine. Okay, a perfect example, Daniel in the lion's den. Okay, when Daniel was being thrown in the lion's den, what's the carnal thing to think? Damn, I'm about to be mauled by these lions. I can't fight 7 lions. I'm cooked. But what did Daniel think? I know Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai got me. I ain't got nothing to worry about. Watch how the Lord deliver me. And what happened? Those lions didn't touch him at all. And how was Daniel fed? Habakkuk was teleported to Daniel. Okay, let's get that. Because that's a heavy, history. Balaam the dragon, the only chapter, and I'll start at verse 29. It says, "So then they came to the king and said, Deliver us, Daniel, or else we will destroy thee and thine house. And now when the king saw that they pressed him sore, being constrained, he delivered Daniel unto them, who cast him into the lions' den, where he was 6 days. And in the den there were 7 lions, and they had given them every day 2 carcasses and 2 sheep, which then were not given to them to the intent they might devour Daniel. Now there was in Jewry a prophet called Habakkuk, who had made pottage and had broken bread in a bowl, and was going into the field for to bring it to the reapers. But the angel of the Lord said unto Habakkuk, Go carry the dinner that thou hast into the Babylon unto Daniel, who is in the lion's den. And Habakkuk said, Lord, I never saw Babylon, neither do I know where the den is. Then the angel of Yahweh took him by the crown, and bare him by the hair of his head, and through the vehemency of his spirit set him in Babylon over the den. Right, so the angel literally grabbed him, teleported him to Babylon in order to feed Daniel. And one thing I always thinking about when I read this is the Lord can use anybody he wants for the elect's, for the believer's will. Okay, for their own will, the Lord can use anybody to help you out. And, we see it, Habakkuk was doing his own thing. He was thinking about how he's going to go, feed how he's about to go eat, do his own thing. And next thing you know, he's teleported. So the Lord can use anybody. It says, and Habakkuk cried, saying, O Daniel, Daniel, take the dinner which Yahweh has sent thee. And Daniel said, Thou hast remembered me, O Yahweh, neither hast thou forsaken them that seek thee and love thee. Okay, and that is the same thing reiterated in Ecclesiasticus chapter 2, right? When it talks about who has the Lord forsaken, that has seeked him. And the answer is nobody. Okay, thou hast remembered me, O Yahweh, neither hast thou forsaken them that seek thee and love thee. So Daniel arose and did eat, and the angel of Yahweh set Habakkuk in his own place again immediately. Upon the seventh day the king went to bewail Daniel, and when he came to the den, he looked in, and behold, Daniel was sitting. Then cried the king with a loud voice, saying, Great art, Yahweh, power of Daniel, and there is none other beside thee. And he drew him out and cast those that were cause of his destruction into the den, and they were devoured in a moment before his face. And what does that show you? That the Lord was stopping the mouths of the lion. Okay, even when it seems like the world is against you, like the material is falling, guess what? It is Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai that is in control. Okay, like I said, Daniel was looking, if he looked at that from a carnal perspective, he said, damn, these lions going to F me up, man. But what happened? The Lord was in control of those lions. The Lord is in control of everything. So just have faith in him. Do his will to the best of your ability. Have faith. Have genuine faith. Okay, you can't fake it when it comes to faith. Okay, the Lord examines the spirits. Okay, he's a discerner of the inward parts. Okay, he knows your mind if you actually believe. And if your mindset, your frequency is in believing. So don't fake it. Actually believe in the Lord and watch how he delivers you. So the spirit was heavy to go into that because, faith is one of the most important aspects when it comes to this walk and when it comes to these trials and tribulations. Okay, never lose your faith. So hopefully this was edifying. With that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai Ba'Hashem Rakakwadash, and double honors to the elder bishops and apostles of Great Millstone that taught me this truth. Shalom to your elect. Shalom.